Graniola. This is the Graniola channel, and I'd like to tell you a folk tale. I live on an island off the northeast coast of Florida, and annually about this time, all of a sudden, my small front yard, which is normally green in the beginning of the month, transforms, and what becomes its salient features are golf ball-sized holes, small mounds of earth, dead clumps of grass, and long arched stretches of earth that must be underground tunnels. If you've seen Bill Murray's seminal film Caddyshack, you'll understand what my reaction is. I don't really know if the little fellows are moles or voles or groundhogs, but at this point I'm not really a fan. What follows is a folktale about moles. It's called Underground. Many years ago, it could have been 200 years ago, or it might have been 300, two cousins inherited a plot of land together. One of the cousins was very poor and the other was very rich. Each of them worked one half of the plot of land that they had been given. They each used the same seed and they put in the same amount of work. But as the months passed, one half of the field turned green and full and bushy with healthy plants, while the other had only a few wilted stems. This was because God had looked down on the two men and seen that the poor man needed help while the rich man did not. When it rolled around to harvesting time, the rich cousin said to his poorer relative, "My half of the property is filled with lush green plants, whereas your side," he said, pointing misleadingly to his own half, "has produced almost nothing at all." The poor cousin, of course, disputed this, but the rich one just insisted and wouldn't listen. Finally, the richer of the two, pretending he was exasperated because he couldn't explain to the other one what had happened, said, "Let's meet on the middle of the field tomorrow morning at dawn, and God will tell us whose field is whose." Although this seemed as if it were an unfair agreement, the poor fellow felt he had to acquiesce. He went home, hardly slept at all, and the next morning went back to the field to meet with his cousin. He had no way of knowing that an hour before he arrived, the other man had dug a trench in the part of the field where he had never done any work, but now claimed was his own. His plan was this: he asked his son to hide down in the trench and to wait until he heard the words, "Whose field is this?" When he heard that, he should answer, "It's the rich man's field." Within a very short time, all of the people who lived in the surrounding village had gathered together to hear what God would say about the ownership of the plots. The wealthy father cried out, "O Lord, whose field is this one?" The plants in that part were so big and healthy and green and full that no one could see the boy. Is it the rich man's property, or does it belong to the poor cousin? Immediately a voice answered, "It's the rich man's field. It's the rich man's field." Now the God was omnipresent, which meant that he was in all places at all times. And after the boy had spoken, he told the townspeople the true story of the division of the property. When he had finished his clarification, he said to the father and the son, "As a punishment to both of you for your dishonesty, the boy will remain from this time forward under the earth and never come up again to see the light of day." And as he spoke, he turned that boy into a mole, and that is why moles dig tunnels under the ground and stay away from the sun and the light of the day. This is a tale that's told in the Ukraine.